Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I have got the Luba all-wheel drive series. This is the Luba 3, and this is going to be my review on this Luba. I've been having fun making videos and cutting my yard and all that great stuff. I want to go over some of the specs, and then we're actually going to put the lawnmower to a test so we're not just bored looking at the mower sitting here. So you're going to want to see it cut the grass, you're going to want to see it do obstacle avoidance and all that good stuff. But let's go over the key specs on why you would want to buy the Luba 3 by Mammotion. So this one is the 0.75 acres, so 3,000 meters squared. I think that's squared, yeah. And it's 0.75 acres. And I have the high version. So right off the bat, I want to tell you all that there is a standard version and a high version. And the reason I bought the high version is I've got cool season grass, and that allows you to cut the grass up higher, which the high version will go from 2.2 inches up to 4 inch, which is 55 millimeters to 100 millimeters. So if you have cool season grass, I would go with the high version. And then the standard version will cut grass all the way down to 1 inch. I know some of you like to go below that, but this goes to 1 inch up to 2.7 inch on the cutting. I have had this for over a month, and I've had it set on a schedule, and it goes out and cuts the grass every day except Sunday. And I have not once had this thing get stuck. And I have set in 3 zones because I would prefer this to come out and cut each zone without charging. I just like to be home and see it cut, and then it goes back to the charging, and I look and I can come out and see exactly what it did. It doesn't take all day to do one zone. Now, obviously, if you have a huge property, you know, if you have above 0.75 acres, you'd go with the next model up, which is the 5,000. And I think that does 1.25 acres. So it's going to go back and charge, obviously. Let's go through some quick key specs, and then I will pick up the camera and show you closer to the mower, show you up under it. I haven't washed it or anything in probably 3 weeks. I just kind of rinse it off with a hose. It's waterproof. IBS 6, I think. Yes, so it's waterproof, but no power washer, so do not use a power washer. So the Luba 3, the main specs is their navigation, which they call it tri-fusion positioning. All these different mowers on the market have different ways of navigating. And usually if you have a larger yard, like if you have half acre or above, this is going to come in very handy because it's going to use all 3, which is going to use the 360 LiDAR. It's going to use network RTK, or you can use the actual RTK station that comes with it. If you have a huge property and you want to mount the actual RTK on your house and it sees all the satellites, you're going to get a better, it's going to see more satellites and it's going to have a better connection. But if you have heavy tree cover and stuff like that, you can still have RTK issues where the GPS, it doesn't see the GPS very well. So that's why the tri-fusion is good, because it's going to now go over to the LiDAR and the actual vision to be able to see. This has a 12 amp hour battery. Like I said earlier, it has 175 minutes of runtime. And obviously it's going to go back and charge and resume exactly where it left off if your property's too big. We're going to do obstacle avoidance test, where it says it detects 300 plus objects. The processor is at 10 tops, trillion operations per second. Those specs are kind of going a little deep there. Yeah, so the other great thing is the all-wheel drive, obviously, and this will do a maximum slope of 80%, which is 38.6 degrees. And those are the main quick specs that I wanted to talk about in this video, because I could talk all day about specs, but you guys really want to see performance. So let's go up to the robot and I will show you the condition of the blades, all that good stuff. So the Tri-Fusion is what I was talking about. This is going to be where your GPS, I'm using network RTK, which runs off of the 4G SIM card, which comes free for 3 years with Luba. It has the LiDAR, which I have never had to touch or clean. I haven't had any errors whatsoever with the LiDAR unit. It's been out here in 90-degree heat, so that's a great thing. It's got the camera system, and the camera system does hook up to your phone, and you can turn it on, and it's in 1080p, and it'll let you see what it's doing. So while it's cutting the grass, it's actually going to show you exactly what it's doing. It does have a bumper. So if all the systems fail and it runs into a tree or it runs into something, it's going to hit the bumper and back up. Okay, let's turn this thing over. Let's put it up in the air.
The front wheels lifted.
Okay.
The robot tilted.
And there are your blades. Now, the last time I tilted this over to clean up under here was like 3 weeks ago, and I noticed then that there was no grass caught in the actual blades, which is fantastic. This design is way better than Luba 1. I had the Luba 1 for 3 years, and I would have to come out here and kind of rotate these blades back and forth to get the grass out from the actual blade and the bolt that goes down through there, the little screw. And this is staying really, really clean up under here. Now, I do not cut the grass when it's raining and when the grass is wet. I have an irrigation system out here in my yard that helps keep this grass green. And it comes on at 4 o'clock in the morning, and this robot goes out and mows at 10:30 in the afternoon. There's your suspension. Even has little mud flaps. So there's a little bit more detail with the Luba 3. And the mud flaps are just simply to try to keep the camera lens clean and the LiDAR clean. Because if these get dirty, then you're going to have issues with it mowing. But yeah, I just wanted to go over the specs real quick. There's the box. I wanted to have the box in the background because that kind of shows your key specs there, which I went over already. I really, really have been enjoying this robot. It is the one I use every day out here because I don't have software issues. I don't have the firmware issues that some people have had firmware issues where they update to the latest version and something, little things can happen, but usually they bring out a patch within a few days and it gets these things back up and going. But that does not affect every single Luba 3 on the market. Because you can go in and talk to people about it and they said, yeah, mine's doing this, and then others say mine has never done that. So let's get this out in the field and actually see it doing some things. And the order in which I'm going to do this is we're going to start with the obstacle avoidance test, and then I'm going to show the actual mower just simply mowing the lawn. It's going to be maybe a 2 or 3 minute clip. I'm going to have it sped up. We're just going to speed it up so it's not going to bore you. So it's going to show you the lines and it's cutting the grass. And the last thing will be an edge routine. I'll send it out on the edge. It'll go around the driveway and all that good stuff. So you'll get to see all the different things. And yeah, I forgot to say too, this has an LED light so it can mow at night. So if you have a huge property and it needs time to mow, it can go all the way through the evening time. And this will mow in the evening also. So let's get started, and we are going to take you over to the obstacle avoidance test. Okay, here's the time we're going to do an obstacle avoidance. I've got a shoe, a kid's toy, and a hose. Now, obstacle avoidance, to me, I want to do this, it's for fun, but sometimes you will leave objects in the yard. So let's start with the shoe. I'll put it in its path. And I hope it does not run over the shoe because That is my son's UGG, and he will be upset. So I will stop it if it does, but I think it's going to go around it. Okay. Great. It saw the shoe. Now that the shoe is removed, if you remove it in time, the mower will come back and cut that spot. All right. Now, a common item that I might leave out in the yard on accident would be a hose. If you're out here watering your lawn and you leave the hose out, and the next day this goes out on its scheduled task, is it going to cut the hose? Let's put the hose in the way. And then we'll try the duck. I'm not sure if it's going to see the duck, but we will try. Okay. It sees the hose. Now that is awesome. Okay. I'm going to move that out of the way. It's going to go back up. It's going to come back over and make one more pass. Let me follow it so we don't take all day on here. And then we're going to put the duck in its way. And it looks like it sees the duck. Maybe not. Yes, it did. I was getting ready to hit the stop button. All right, so there you go. So it did avoid 3 common objects. I'm surprised it avoided the duck, but that's great. That's what I wanted to show you guys. So if you leave a hose in the yard, if you leave a shoe, it's not going to come out and be all torn up with the blades. So on to the next test. This is a clip of what the Mammotion Luba 3 does best, simply cutting grass. All right, this is the Luba 3 on its edge routine. And it is definitely hugging the edge. Okay, I'm going to be quiet.